people in Japan and all of the tragedy that is going on there. We have 5 speakers tonight, and we would like to start out with the mayor of our city. This is Mayor Bob Foster.
Thank you, Justin. First of all, thank you all for being here. We're here today to try to just show our support and our sympathy for the people of Japan for this awful tragedy that has occurred over there. I think all of you, everybody here, has seen the images. They're almost too horrific for words. The devastation, the loss of life, the ongoing issues that will occur in Japan for maybe as much as long as a decade. And I think what we need to do is not only to show our support, but at the appropriate time also provide to give any aid that we can, even personally. I know right now there are people in our community that are trying to put together a fundraiser to help the Japanese people. If you can participate in that at the right time, I urge you to do so. And I think events like this bring home the fragility of human life, and that was brought home to us personally today. As you know, we lost some very good people today in an aircraft accident, people who were pillars in our community, who made huge contributions, who tried to make things better here. And our thoughts and prayers go out to their families and as well. It is difficult to withstand that kind of loss. And as you know, it's magnified in Japan. I mean, God knows how many families have been damaged and maybe even lost entirely. So I want to thank you for being here. I will tell you some bit of good news. Our sister city, Yokkaichi, my office has been in contact with Mayor Tanaka. The city has not withstood any real damage. They were further south and a little protected, so both the earthquake and the tidal wave that occurred, the tsunami that occurred, had not really affected them. So that's a little bit of good news in a time when there's a lot of bad news. I can't thank all of you enough for being out here. I know this is a symbolic act, but it's a symbolic act that I think really can convey to people well across the ocean that we empathize with them, we support them, we'll do anything we can to help them, not only with the effects of the tsunami, but now also with the nuclear event over there. Not really clear what's happening yet there, but obviously it's not good news either. So I thank all of you from Long Beach for being here. I can't thank Justin enough for putting this together, and I think this will not only make you feel good, but I think somehow, some way, it'll make them feel better as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mayor Foster. I'd like to introduce to you Eunice Sato, and she was the first elected mayor of Long Beach, and she would like to say a few words.
Yeah. Thank you, Justin. This may not be proper, but I think I'm going to have to correct that because I was not the first publicly elected mayor. I was elected by my colleagues on the council, but I was the first female mayor of Long Beach. And I feel that I really had to do a good job, because if I didn't, no one else would be able to follow me. And Beverly's done an excellent job, so I guess I did all right. This is going to be kind of repetitive because I think our mayor has said it all. First of all, I want to thank all of you, each of you, because you represent, I would say, the best in Long Beach. You are here representing the rest of the city. It means so much to have a gathering such as this to people you don't even know. I was born in California, so I'm a Californian, but my parents were from Japan, and I feel a little close to Japan because I was there as a missionary in 1948, 3 years after the end of the war, and it was devastation then. And I was there in a missionary school and served 3 years, but I lived there 8 years, and so I have many friends. And my mother and father's family are like Yokkaichi. They're from Southern California. So my relatives, I haven't heard from them, and I'm not sure where they're located, but they're in Southern California, Southern Japan, near Mount Fuji. which is quite a bit south of Tokyo. Can't thank you enough for your sentiments, showing your love and your concern for people who have been devastated. Words can't describe fully what has happened. It's only those photos we've seen. And that is hardly believable. These containers bouncing, all piled up in a heap like a child's blocks. And cars floating down, all jumbled up. You think they were little toy cars in a little pond. It's just unbelievable. And I appreciate each one of you being here. It means a lot because it tells me they're caring people in our city, and you represent the good. Can't thank you enough. Appreciate it so very much. If I knew your names, I would write each of you a letter because I am touched by your sensitivity to the situation in Japan. Can you imagine 10,000 people dying just kind of overnight? And then they don't know how many tens of thousands of people who have no shelter, food, or water. Can you really imagine that? I can't. I just have no way to really be part of that scene because it's so drastic, unbelievable. I appreciate your presence here, and I hope that you will all make some kind of contribution. You know, this is Lenten season, and we're supposed to give up something. Maybe it's chocolates or pies or whatever, but maybe that's an incentive to give up something. And you know, even if you give up one meal or fast for a day, and you know, those $10, $20 could add up to millions if millions of people participate. It's those small things that make a difference and are important in our life. I appreciate the fact that Disney has given, what, $2.5 million? And the Foreign Minister of Australia says he has 4 Boeing planes already in Japan delivering water and rescue people. So Americans are good people. I just believe that thoroughly. Every spot of blood in my heart just tells me that there's no better place than America, for there are good Americans everywhere. And I appreciate so much, so very much, that you are all here. It warms my heart. And then they'll have news over there in Japan. They have TVs over there. They'll know that you are here, thinking about them, praying for them, and trying to be of strength and comfort to them to know that you folks care. It means a lot. And it's cold out here, and you're all braved up, and I thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. If I had a big house, I'd already like you for
Thank you, Eunice. Again, that is Eunice Sato, the former mayor of Long Beach. Let me tell you what's going to happen for the rest of our vigil tonight. At this time, we're going to ask Eunice and Mayor Foster and Mrs. Foster if they would, and Councilman Garcia, if y'all would start making your way towards the water. We're all going to follow them, and we're going to present an offering to the Pacific Ocean. This is the same ocean that we share with...
Right now, I know I'm not alone in saying this, but many of us knew some of the men, community leaders that we lost today in this horrific, sad, and tragic thing that happened today at the airport. And if we can all just go ahead and please also just take a minute and just do a moment of silence, not just for the community leaders that we lost today, not just for Mr. Jensen, Mike, who's a good friend and a good community leader who's in the hospital and who needs our prayers, but also for the families. The families and the children of those that passed away today, those people need to be in our thoughts and prayers. So if we can just all just take a minute to think about them, to pray for their families if you'd like to, and think about them for just a couple minutes. Thank you. Moment of silence. certainly our thoughts and our prayers are with their families, and certainly as a city, we're going to be for them whatever they need. So, thank you for coming. I'm going to pass this back over to Justin, who's probably running back here.
Thank you, Councilman Garcia. I'd like to introduce you to Sandy Olwine. She is the president-elect of the South Coast Interfaith Council. She would like to say a few words.
You know, we gather here on the shores of the Pacific Ocean, and it's a place that we come to for sustenance because it gives us our food. It's a place that many of us come to for employment because it employs not only people here in Long Beach, but people across the country. It's a place we come for joy because we gather here to play in the waves and with our families and with our dogs, and we celebrate the gift of the ocean. But we gather here tonight also aware that there's great force in this water, and it is also a place that can take away life and cause destruction. So we gather in the sort of the mystery tonight of creation, of life and death, and how they are held together and intermingled with each other, and that we stand in moments of joy and moments of sorrow, sometimes in the very same place. In Japan right now, there's a lot of darkness for people, literally, because there is no electricity. In mourning, as people await word of loved ones who are missing and hoping against hope that they will be found, and people who already are in the depths of grief, knowing that those that they love, that they worked with, that they prayed with, that they played with, are no longer of this earth. We know of the families here in Long Beach who this night also feel themselves in darkness and pain of loss, of prayers of hope for recovery. And so we stand here tonight, we light candles. They're very fragile little flames. Mine's already gone out. But because mine's gone out, we're here as a community, and so someone else can light it. And so we can light each other's candles whenever our light goes out. That's what it means to be part of a community. To bear one another up, to carry one another, to light each other's candle when we are in darkness, so that we might have light to walk into the future together. We've come here tonight with many different faiths, some with none. We've come as a people who commonly are concerned for the people who live far away from us and people who live next door. So in whatever is your tradition of honoring of life and of honoring the gift of this earth and recognizing that it is a mystery of which we do not yet understand, I would invite you into a time of silent reflection as we offer up a prayer for all those that we hold in our hearts, both that are close, that we know, and those that are far away. O creative spirit of all that is, we gather this night on this place, aware of the fragility of life and the inability of words to capture feelings, to explain reality, or to understand what has happened. But in all that we don't know, we stand together, aware that as a community here, and as a community around the world, that together we can make our way forward out of unknowing and out of darkness into light and hope and life again. Be with all of us that are gathered here, that our prayers, that our energy, that our love might travel across this wide Pacific Ocean, and that it might surround the people of Japan, and that they might know that they are not alone, and that we will light the light for them and stand with them in these days. Be with all of us as we go forth this night, that we could carry our light to everywhere we go. Together we say, Amen, Shalom, Salam, peace.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Before we finish our evening tonight, I'd like to introduce you to the director of the Japanese Garden at Cal State Long Beach, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I came this evening to share this vigil with you as an expression of the concern that we at Cal State Long Beach have for the people of Japan. Of course, the Japanese garden stands as a physical symbol of the deep relationship that Long Beach has and that the university has with Japan. But we also have many personal friendships and relationships. You may know that many Japanese students study at Cal State Long Beach, and many students study abroad in Japan. And I'm happy to report at this point that those that we are in touch with are safe for the moment, and also that the group of students and alumni that are teaching in Japan are doing very well. So let us keep them in our thoughts as well. And I also want to invite you to come to the Japanese Garden for the next few weeks. We will be working with Cal State Long Beach students making origami and selling them as a fundraiser for the disaster relief. So please come and visit the garden and help us raise these resources to send to our friends in Japan. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, is there anyone in our audience tonight who has loved ones who are in Japan right now who are being affected? Do you mind raising your hand? And I would like to invite any of you who would like to come up and offer to all of us what's going on with your life and in the lives of your loved ones. Could a few of you come up real quick and just give us a few? And I did. Thank you. Come ahead, come forward.
Hi, my name is Sarah McGovern, and I'm a student, or I just graduated from Long Beach State. I went this summer to Switzerland and had an internship at CERN, where I met two Japanese physicist students who ended up going back to Japan and are both there now. They're both fine, and their friends and family are mostly fine, but they are evacuating Tokyo in order to clear the way in case a larger scale evacuation has to happen. So. Also, one Long Beach gentleman named Filiano is his stage name. He was traveling in Japan, touring. He's also fine. So anyway, my blessings to Japan, and God bless everybody. If you are not of that faith, peace to your soul. I'm not religious. I absolutely bless every one of you. Bye.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, my mom is born and raised in Japan, and all her family is in Japan. And I've had 2 generations of cousins come from Japan and live in Long Beach and go to school here. And so I'm here for them. They know I'm here. They asked me to come, which I would anyways. And Long Beach is near and dear to their hearts, and they have very fond memories. It's their second home. And they're all okay. They're more in the south, in Osaka and Kobe, but I do have some cousins in Tokyo, and I was really afraid because he works in the ports in Tokyo, but he's okay. It's hard to find food because a lot of the stores are sold out, and they don't have any phone service, but I've been able to contact them through Facebook and the internet, and my cousin's wife's family live near the epicenter, and they can't get a hold of them, but they don't live near the ocean, so they're assuming they're okay. They just haven't gotten a hold of them yet. I have a dear friend that I met in Paris who's from Japan, and I emailed her, and I got an email back that she was at the airport in Paris going to Japan, that her family was well, her family's okay. It took her 4 days to get a hold of them, but their home's wiped out from the tsunami. They lived right in front of the port, but it's a miracle they're alive. So I just am thankful, and I thank Justin and everybody here to support Japan. And I know economic times are hard. It's hard to just pay mortgages and put food on the table. But maybe if you don't go to Starbucks one day, make your lunch one day. Even a couple bucks will help to donate. And I know people are important, but think of the animals too. They need help too. So if you could help in any way you can. And I truly believe in the power of prayer. So please, your prayers do make a difference. So pray. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I think what we'll do to close our ceremony, and you're welcome to stay as long as you'd like, there is a display in the middle here of the boat launch ramp. You're welcome to gather around that for a few moments, but take your time, as much time as you need. And as you do leave from this place tonight, just know that this is the same ocean that they have there. This is the same moon, the same sky, and we all have hearts that are akin to each other, and that I'm thankful for each of you who has shown love and peace and respect to be here tonight, and compassion. And I hope that you'll go from this place tonight with that love, peace, compassion, and continue to have joy in your heart during this difficult season. Okay, thank you again for being here. God bless Japan.